There's great power in a group of people who are raising their consciousness together to bless not each of us and all of us together, but to let the energy of this blessing be a blessing wherever we are and wherever we go today. So Spirit, we are open and receptive now to your presence, lighting our minds and our hearts with divine ideas, bringing to our awareness realizations of your greatness within us and in all people. We give thanks that you are guiding our discussion today so that we each experience a lifting of our whole being, so that we each experience a kindling of joy and peace and vitality and hope and optimism. We give thanks for all of these blessings unfolding in, for, and through each of us right now. And so it is, and we all say, Amen. Praise the Lord. Praise Jesus. Praise Jesus. Okay, so set an intention for this time, whatever it might be. Let's see, a new idea, to be 120% present, to be fully participating in the discussions, but set an intention. Okay. Everyone got one? Good. So this was our reading for today. The last part of Eric's book, Spiritual Economics. And I'm just curious, what is the most important thing that you have either read or heard in our time together, or subsequent, or as a result of it?
This is Kathy. For me, it was the reminder to get my energy from inside and not let the energies of the culture cloud my thoughts, because the best way for me to be a blessing to others is to let the light shine and not to let any of the negativity come through, the negativity of the culture come through.
Excellent, excellent, thank you. Who else? Jan is going to speak. Jan here in the room.
And I'm supposed to talk louder so
Talk
people
louder.
can hear me. Well, I thought that I had quite a good level of positive thinking till I read this book. And I find that my intentions are to think, say, feel positive, all of that. And yet, on the way to coming here, I saw a political sign, and I immediately went to the negative. And that was a real big lesson to me.
What
if
an
I'm going to do
important
this, I got to do it 100%.
Excellent. I hope you all heard Jan. It's so easy, isn't it, to get sidetracked? Mm-hmm. Did you all hear her that she had set this intention to be positive, to think positive and keep her mind positive. And on her way to class this morning, she passed a political sign that took her right down into negative thinking. But the beauty of that is that you were aware of it. You know, the tough part is when we're not aware of it and that cycle just continues. So good for you. Good for you. Who else? Darlene?
I was going to say that, Jan, one of the things, I don't know if might help or not, is I use the word cancel all the time. You know, cancel. So the minute I find myself going into that space, the first thing I say is cancel.
Good.
So that, and it's just one little word.
Cancel. Did you all hear Darlene? Cancel.
Yeah, it seems like it means it more than one time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And you can say, you could say it a number of times. You know, when I get irritated, it's like driving, you know, and people are being slow or whatever. Cancel, cancel. You don't need to have that thinking anymore. Just be.
Great.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Thank you. Who else? Most important thing you've read or heard so far or noticed?
This is Sig.
Yes.
One thing I have been, because I listen to the Kindle, what I've learned is that my sister years ago, who brought me to Unity, her attitude about keeping money in circulation, this book actually really points that out and brings it home to roost in my side of the book. So
Great. Thank you. Yeah. Eric talks about developing a giving attitude, period. Let your attitude be one of what can I be? How can I be a contribution? What can I give? No matter what I'm talking about, my time, myself, my money, my good humor, my smiles, anything. Give. Yeah. Thank you, Steve.
to her, it's divine flow. Whatever she gives, it keeps everything in circulation and brings it. She doesn't say it brings it home to her, but it actually does in many ways. So
Yes, thank you. That was great. Who else? Thank you, Billy.
You know, I really just enjoyed reading it again, just to be reminded of all these things. And Butterworth takes some things to a higher level, I think, than a lot of prosperity teachers, you know. And so I really appreciate that. And the one thing I had never heard before, ever in all these years, was missing the mark is one of the ways we learn to hit the target. That was, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's very profound. You know, I mean, because we're always talking about how in Unity we say there isn't sin, we're just missing the mark, you know. But I never thought about it as that it's how we learn to hit the target. That's one of the biggest things I took away out of this book. So
Thank you. That's great. It's very profound.
yeah.
You know, it's a simple sentence, but it's very profound. Excellent. Thank you for that. Who else? Anybody else?
This is Eileen.
Oh,
I think what hit me the most, and I've known this, but I think it really put it in my heart more, is that the possibilities are limitless of what can come to you. And as long as you keep your mind open and positive, that those things are always there for you to receive and to be in gratitude for it.
Great. True. Hey, Kath, would you do us a favor? Would you turn up the volume on in this room? I'm straining to hear you. Can you hear them okay? Can you hear what's being said okay, you guys? Okay.
Not every word.
Well, we're going to turn up the volume and see if that helps.
this is Maria. Hello, Maria.
Maria,
Yes, can you hear me?
yes, thanks.
I'm hoping that my tablet works this time, because last week I was having a really hard time with it and it just knocked me off. First of all, I want to be thankful for all of you, because it has been reading this book again, and well, not reading it again. I hadn't read this book by Eric Butterworth, and what I had started to say last week was that I wished I had read it when I was younger and was raising my 2 children. I probably wouldn't have struggled as much as I did back then, even though I was already in Unity, and it helped me get through a lot of the hard times, because I was so positive thinking always. So it helped me to get through a lot of hard times. But reading it now, it just really opens up that consciousness that I kind of missed back then. And then Friday, I received in the mail an envelope with no return address. It only says "Dream Big" on it in the back, and I didn't know where it came from, who sent it. I opened it up, and I received money.
Wow.
Inside the card, it just indicated "Dream Big."
Oh,
And in my mind, that was first. I said, who would be sending me money? Who did I speak to or knows me that well or whatever to send me money? Because first of all, you start thinking to yourself, why would somebody send me money? Then I caught my thought and I said, well, it's an openness of receiving. So instead of asking why and who, I blessed the person who sent it, and I blessed and thank God for it. And I just put it aside. So I had to share that with you because
thank you.
it's like an assurance telling me that God is everywhere present, no matter what condition or what situation you're in, he's always there. So I thank and bless the person that did it. And I'm so grateful to have been chosen by that person at that time.
Thank you.
It
I-
gave me goosebumps.
Yes, yes.
Wonderful.
I saw a hand up. Was that you, Kath? There was
Oh,
a
I thought I
hand.
was clapping a hand for clapping,
You were clapping?
congratulating. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Judy, thank you for that beautiful picture, that painting. Judy is such a great artist, you guys. You need to do, when we can, you need to do an art show here at the church, Judy.
Oh, that would be nice.
Well, yeah, it sure would.
Thank you.
Yes, your radiance, Jody, what do you have to say for yourself?
Hello, everyone. I did not make it last week because I have been in an 8-day first virtual seminar with Tony Robbins for 8 days.
Wow, wow.
And that's why I'm on fire, and I put up, I'm a 10 today. I am a 10. But I learned so much that I've been sitting here thinking about what I might share with you. What a beautiful story by Maria. And that reminds me that Tony closed his seminar by saying to everyone that if you're not happy and things are not well in your world, that you need to start giving. That it's in the giving that brings you true joy, and the love that this world needs is within each of us, and that giving that love in any form. Maria said it was money. You can give your time. There's a lot of ways to give. You can make a meal for someone, you can call someone. So I'm very focused, especially after hearing Maria's wonderful story, that giving will bring you joy and also adds value to someone else's life and uplifts others. And this is the time for that. So that's what I'm focused on.
Thank you, thank you. Beautiful thoughts, yes. Okay, thanks. Let's see, anyone we haven't-
Sharon, it's Eileen again. I just want.
Oh, we lost you. Eileen.
The other day, Jody was at our house, and you did receive the statue, right?
Yes, I did. It's on my.
Okay, so I just wanted you to know that Jody has one similar, and she said, I just feel really a feeling that Sharon would really like one like that. And so it was with her prompting that we found one of Judy's pieces to send as well. So I just wanted to make that little statement so you knew that that came from her heart too.
I want to show it to you guys. Hey, Kathy, would you get the statue that Judy made for me? It's right on my top shelf. I'll show y'all. Okay, while Kathy's getting that for us, any other comments before I move on? I thought it would be good to just go over this part again, given that the title of, oh, thank you, Kath. Can you all see it? That's the, Judy, what is that made of?
It's polymer clay.
Polymer, okay. It's so beautiful. And thank you for inscribing the bottom for me. I'd never forget who gave it to me, but I think every work of art ought to be signed. Yeah.
Kathy, you're putting it a little bit too close. Take it back a little bit, in a little bit, and then kind of turn it as well, because we're not seeing it very well.
There
A
it
little
is.
bit more.
That's good.
You
That's
can't
pretty
really appreciate the color because of the lighting.
Okay.
But
Thank you
it's,
for that.
she's praying and it's beautiful. You know what it reminded me of? You know, I was raised Catholic, so when I saw it, it reminded me of either Saint Bernadette, who had an apparition of the Blessed Virgin, right? Or the children of Fatima, who also had that apparition of the Blessed Virgin. So she's looking up as if she's seeing an apparition. I'm ready. Bring it on. Thank you again, Judy. Okay, spiritual, thank you, Kat. That was helpful. So we talk, the title of his book is Spiritual Economics. Spiritual Economics. And so this is the way I thought of it because of the way economics is defined. Economics defined as the production and distribution and consumption of materials. So when I think of spiritual economics, I think that it is concerned with the production, our production of prospering thoughts. And the prospering thoughts are already there, right? I mean, that's spiritual education and study is so important because it gives us the tools for accessing divine ideas, for accessing divine mind. If we're unaware, then we don't access it, right? But the more awareness we have of what is capital T truth, the more we are inclined to access it. So the field of prospering ideas, divine ideas, is already there. We're just connecting to it and allowing it to flow to us. So spiritual economics is that, it's the expression of those thoughts. Like you all were expressing when you talked about what was the most important thing from the book for you, what was awakened in you. And then the consumption of these spiritual ideas and practices, I think of as metabolizing, so to speak, metabolizing the ideas so that they become a part of our thinking and our being. So that's how we show up. You know, we show up as an energy of love or as an energy of generosity. We just show up as an energy of happiness. As Jody was saying, as an energy of giving. When we show up, we give out light. Any comments or questions there? Nope. Okay then. Ha-ha! Let's see what you think about this. Because Eric spends a lot of time talking about what his idea of money is. So what's your idea of money? Remember, you said you were 10. What's your idea of money, Sig?
Okay, it's Jody. It's Jody. You know, I haven't read the book because I've been doing the seminar, but when I think of money, money is, to me, money is a creative form of giving and receiving. And therefore, it can be a spiritual point of view to remember that you work for money or you serve for money, whatever you decide, and then you also give a part of that money also, so that the spiritual part of money is working.
Great, great, thank you. Sig? Sig? Unmute yourself. There you go.
Okay. Money is something that we all need, but
Why do we need it?
Well, I was listening to Eric Butterworth and his assessment of Gandhi, and how it took a lot of money to ensure that he was poor.
Yes, it wasn't that interesting.
It was a very good statement. And that's true. I mean, we do need money to keep living and existing, and to it feeds us in a way that enriches our life, and yet it can be a burden if you have way too much of it. I'm sorry. There is too much money in the world. But it's hard for me to explain how it works into my life, but go ahead, somebody else.
Well, what I know about you is that you're a very generous woman.
Yeah.
So it works well in your life. Who
Well,
else?
I get the generosity from so many sources that it just a lot of times just overwhelms me, not so much in the quantity, but in the thoughts that provide it for me.
Ah, great.
And it's my, and I hate to say duty, but it's something that causes me to send it forth into the world to work.
That's what happens when you are an awakened being. You know, you can't help when generosity begets generosity. When you're an awakened being and can appreciate, you know, you just want to give back. Generosity to you inspires generosity from you. Beautiful thing. Thank you. Who else? What is money?
This is Kathy. I think money is a token of energy, and in its best, it's creative, productive energy, loving energy, but it can also be a token of negative energy. And so what we need to do is look at it only in the positive, and don't give it any of the negativity that money can attract, but it doesn't have to.
Thank you. Great. Who else? Money, money. Who was that?
This is Eileen.
Eileen.
I look at it as an energy exchange. Like Kathy, to me, it's an energy and it's a flow. So, you know, the old adage, what goes around comes around. As long as you continually put your energy out there, whether it's your service or your money or what it is that you give, that's going to create that circle of life that comes back to you and brings you joy and energy and love as well. It's just a great way to continue that flow with you and the universe.
Great, thank you. Anybody else before I move on?
I'd like,
Yeah, Jan?
comment. When I was a little kid and living in Oklahoma and going to Sunday school every Sunday, didn't miss. Now that was sinful to miss going to Sunday school. And the other thing that I found out that was sinful was to have money.
Oh,
And it's like I couldn't get rid of it fast because I heard from, I guess, the people that were important in my life that money was sinful and that I wouldn't go to heaven if I didn't spend money correctly and didn't give. And so as a grown person, I find money is absolutely the opposite of that. Money is one of the facets of being prosperous.
yes.
And what I really love about this class is that I have never sought to think all of the reasons why I'm a prosperous person. And it's not really not that much is concerned with money.
Right.
It's all these other things. And I will always be grateful for this class that I am now learning.
Oh, great, Jan. I hope you all heard Jan, that she was raised in a faith where money was considered evil and you had to get rid of it. And today it's entirely different, and she feels she's awakened to how prosperous she is, and it's not all about money. Yeah, great. Anybody else?
I think Maria had something else to say, didn't you, Maria?
Unmute, Maria. Unmute yourself.
Okay. My background in the type of work I did was banking. So money to us was a commodity where you have to, you use it to exchange goods. I saw in a lot of different currencies. We converted different currencies into US dollars. So to me, it was a commodity going back and forth. In the book, reading Eric Butterworth's idea of money, he describes the dollar bill as two sides. On one side, you have the dollar on the corner, and it's basically black. Then when you flip it around, it's green, and it says, "In God we trust." So looking at a dollar bill, using it to pay for something, and turning it around and thank it at the same time will continuously have the flow of giving and receiving. So that changed my whole concept of the commodity view on a dollar bill. Great. Because now when I do receive something, I will bless it and I'm thankful for it. And as I give it out, I will bless it and be thankful for it too. So that changed in my thoughts. That's all I wanted to share right now.
Great, thank you so much. Great. Okay, Billy, would you read that quote? It was on page 141 of our book. Billy?
Yes.
I will. I just had to make it bigger because my book pages aren't the same as yours or something. Okay. There is little likelihood that your life can become full functioning with prosperity unless you have a positive and creative attitude toward money.
Yeah.
That's what I just said.
And that's what you all have been saying too, right?
Right.
A positive, creative attitude. Creative is a key word too. Positive, creative attitude toward money. So here's my question for you all. In one word, describe your relationship with money. Give me one word that describes your relationship with money.
My word is abundant.
Thank you. And what's your affirmation, Eileen?
My main one, like I said last week, is I have everything I need when I need it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, good. Abundant. I'm waiting. Yeah, Sig. Unmute. Unmute, Sig. There you go.
My word is blessed.
Blessed.
I'm always blessed by being able to have it and to use it where it's necessary and to give it when I want to.
Great. Great. Okay, Billy.
Well, I really feel I have an excellent relationship with money. And I love the word opulent.
What word?
Opulent.
Oh,
Opulent.
yes, yes.
So, I'm opulent.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm opulent. Opulent. Describes her relationship with money. Great. Who else? I want to hear from all of you. Maria, how would you describe your relationship with money?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I would say, I guess for me, security.
Security, great.
Yes, because it has always been available to cover all my needs. And I bless every time that something good happens, because I have always had that guidance to get me through, no matter what or how bad the situation got. Was always a way to make it through. So for me, because I had to provide for my children and so on. So that's the way I look at it. But now I'm learning to look at it a whole lot different.
Great.
It's a blessing too at the same time.
Great, thank you. Kathy?
Did you say Kathy? Oh, okay.
I did.
To be honest, right, my life in the past several years, the one word would be struggle. And it's just been kind of a strange season for me. I related a lot to what Eric Butterworth was talking about as far as working for the joy of working and not worrying about the money. And that's kind of been my life process, is I never really thought much about money. And then I didn't have any.
And then you had to think about it.
Then I had to think about it. And so it's still something I'm trying to think straight about, think productively about.
Great, great. Thank you for your vulnerability. Hang on here.
Yes,
Yes.
I was going to say, again, going with favorite words, my favorite word is balance. So balance. So it's wonderful, and I feel blessed to have the money I need to have my needs met. But I also have the money that I need to help relatives and so who are struggling.
Great.
So it's not the most important thing in my life because my needs are being met.
Great. So I remember, let me think. I was already a minister, and I don't, but it's been many years ago. And I was in a seminar where we were asked, in fact, it was a seminar called You and Money. And we were all asked, what is your relationship with money? And I said ambivalent. And I mean, that one word described a whole series of thoughts and attitudes, as you can imagine, ambivalent. I love it and I'm scared I won't have enough. That's ambivalent. But today, what I can say is, as I think about my relationship with money, the one word is grateful. Grateful.
Wow.
Grateful. Very grateful. Very appreciative of the function and the full-on expression of money. So Eric Butterworth says, money is one of those concepts which, like a teaspoon or an umbrella, but unlike an earthquake or a buttercup, are definable primarily by the use or purpose which they serve. Money is not real wealth at all. It is a device for measuring wealth. And then he goes on. Money is an enabling symbol. It is a tangible representation of intangible universal substance, which enables you to provide food, shelter, clothing, and so forth, and security against want. Money is good. Money is God in action, he says. So there we go.
Sure.
What do you think about this one?
This is
Kathleen, would you read this, my love?
A great idea whose time has come is that there is no such thing as a purely financial problem unrelated to false attitudes and emotions that caused it, or a healthy attitude or emotion that can cure it.
What do you think about that?
This is Judy.
Um, before, when you were asking one word, I think money is a teacher.
A teacher, excellent, excellent.
I've been on both sides of it, and that's what I've learned a lot, is that I will always have what I need, like Eileen says, you know. And I think that's that would be my word for it anyway.
Yeah, so beautifully descriptive, isn't it?
Mhm,
I agree with that. It's been a great teacher.
mhm.
Anyone want, thank you, Judy. Anyone want to comment on this quote from Butterworth?
This is Jody.
Jody.
Yes, I've learned a lot about money in this seminar I just took, well, in regards to myself, and where it says false attitudes. This is really true because we have limiting beliefs, all of us do, and they're subtle sometimes. And I had a limiting belief that I realized about money, which was I didn't make as much money in my marriage, and I was always chose to feel like I wanted to ask permission when it came to money, or be sure and check about money, and I learned that I had a limiting belief about that, because I made good money. I just didn't make as much money, and so I am changed, and I'm not. I'm watching out for those false attitudes and those limiting beliefs about money.
Great. Great. Thanks, Jody. Thank you. Yeah, can be very subtle. Okay, this is something I just read to you. Money is an enabling symbol. An enabling symbol. What do you think it's a symbol of?
I think it's whatever you make it.
It's whatever you make it.
That the symbol that money stands for you, like you just asked
Uh-huh.
how you felt about money and describing it.
Yeah, so Jen was saying, yeah, I mean, we give it the meaning that we give it. Butterworth says it's a tangible representation of intangible universal substance. So it's a physical symbol of an intangible substance. And he goes on to say it enables us to provide for our needs. Any other thoughts as you look at this quote? In my book, as you see, it's on page 146. I guess it's on a different book. You notice I pictured I chose a picture that's very green.
Hello? Hello, this is Maria.
Maria.
Yes. When I read this, it brought me back to the word I used, security. Because I looked at it as a source, something I needed badly in order to provide food, shelter, clothing, and whatever I needed for my children at that time. This is why I say by reading this book, I was holding on to something that was not really true because it's tangible. It was there. It would come to me. I didn't have to concentrate all my power and thought into it. If you understand what I'm saying. If I had just let it flow and accept it as coming to me, that I was to get it regardless of what I did. I loved my job at that time. I was happy. I had very good friends. So everything around me was good. I was just holding on to that thought. I need the money for security purpose where I shouldn't have.
Well,
that's
have.
how this, I'm sorry?
Let's go back for a moment to what Judy said about money being a teacher.
Right.
And go back or come with me to the truth that our consciousness our current consciousness is the result of a kind of spiritual evolution or maturing, if you will.
Mm.
So that just like a child can't run when it is a year old or under a year old, but it can when it evolves and grows and matures, it can run. And then we can physically do all kinds of things with our body. It's the same, I think, take what you like and leave the rest. I think our consciousness is the same, that we come in as a seed of possibility and everything is already there, but we have to nurture and mature it to the fullest extent of its expression. I think it's the same thing with money.
Mm-hmm.
Money is this intangible representation of divine substance, which is infinite. And our relationship with it is a maturing process.
Right.
And we're in a human experience here, and we're taught from the time we're young, really, that money equates with how valuable we are. But when we get to the point that we understand that money is useful and it does meet the needs that we have, it's not the most important thing.
Right.
If you have your needs met, then
If you have your needs met.
If I have my needs met, I don't have a lot of wants. So if I have my needs met, then that's the most important thing.
Great, great. Any other comments here?
This is Billy. I was thinking when you were talking about the maturing thing, how influenced I was as a kid by my family's belief in money and what I was told, like money doesn't grow on trees and, all these things, and how much overcoming I had to do because of the way I was taught when I was younger about money.
Yep.
You have to save, for a rainy day. You have to, and nothing was ever mentioned about God being the source. Never. So it was like you have to work hard, you have to pay your own way and all that kind of stuff. So in that maturing process, there was a lot of overcoming that I had to do, and probably some of the rest of us too, to get where I am today, to have a relationship with money that isn't based on fear and lack and limitation and things like that. So.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Any other comments right here?
Yeah, this is Kathy. I was just showing this to Mac. Going back to what I had said about my conflicted attitude about money. I Googled, are Sagittarius bad money managers? And what I got back was the 5 worst signs for money management. And Sagittarius was at the top, and that's because Sag don't think about money. They just like to work, and they spend money as quickly as they get it because they know that they can always work to get more. So that's bad. Number 2 is Pisces, which is where my moon is. And Pisces are bad with money because they just like to give. They're very charitable. And then number 3 was Aquarius, which is my ascending sign. And Aquariuses are really bad with managing money because they just like to buy things that interest them. So like my late husband was Aquarius, and he was always buying art no matter how little money we had. And it said that a lot of Aquarius like to just buy gadgets, like to buy computers and all that kind of stuff, so I've kind of got a triple issue. And I like what Judy was saying about it being a teacher. So I'm thinking, I was born into this particular, Sag, Pisces, Aquarius, and maybe I needed to learn a lesson about money.
So fun. That is so interesting.
When the student's ready, the teacher will appear.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Great. Great. Thank you.
You can let that go now, Kathy.
What'd you say, Eileen?
I said she can let that go now.
You've got a pretty good overview.
Oh, funny. Thanks, Kath. Okay. This is what Butterworth said. I read this one to you too. Get a positive thought. It's this: money is good and money is God in action. So my request to you, and Eileen has already shared hers with us, and I think Billy, you did too. I am opulent. Yes, my life is filled with opulence. Think of an affirmation about money that energizes you.
An affirmation.
Say it again. I didn't hear who was speaking. An affirmation that energizes you.
Okay, let's see. Money is always available to me.
Great. Money is always available to me. Good one. Short and sweet, Sig.
That's me.
You are not short. You are sweet.
Well, maybe you reverse those.
Let's see, money, affirmation about money. Money opens the way for fun and adventure in my life.
Arlene here. I am divinely blessed with lavish abundance every day in every way in my life and my affairs.
Arlene, you're here. Oh, glad to see you. Would you say that again, please?
I am divinely blessed every day in every way. I forgot already.
Oh, I love it. I'm divinely blessed every day in every way. We should do a compilation of all these and share them with one another in writing. Who else?
I have all I need when I need it.
I have all I need when I need it, says Darlene. Yes.
I would just like to share a
All
little.
I want when I want it. Well,
Arlene, I'm grateful from the heart for all that I have.
who's that? No? Okay. Well, if you're thinking, as you allow divine ideas to come to you about this, it's good to have something that energizes you in case you ever have a negative thought about it, like I don't have enough, or this is too much money, this bill is too high, I don't like it, I don't want to pay it. So have an affirmation to replace that thought that isn't helpful. I have everything I need when I need it. I am opulent. Let's see, what else did we hear?
If Judy and, is it Elaine? I can't see.
Eileen?
Eileen, I like the way that she said it earlier.
Eileen, would you say your affirmation again?
I always have everything I need when I need it.
I always have everything I need when I need it. Yeah. Money opens the way for me to ride an elephant. It's on my bucket list.
Okay. This is Judy.
I have a different approach here. I have a very unique situation, and I don't have to think about money at all.
Well, good.
I am very well taken care of.
You're what? You're well taken care of?
Yes, I am.
Well, that's a good affirmation.
Mhm.
I am well taken care of.
And part of that is because when I met Judy, she was in abundance. And when she would give people money or invite them to do something, they might respond and say, well, I don't have any money to do that. And she said, I didn't ask you, did you have the money? I asked you if you wanted to. And so she took a friend of hers to Egypt with her. And she took a friend with her to Machu Picchu. And she just said, if you want to go, the money's there. So just, if you want to go, just say yes, and it'll be there for you. So
Wonderful.
a big lesson from Judy.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Judy, where are we going next?
I don't know. We're COVIDed.
Yeah, where would you like to go, Judy?
I don't know. I'm pretty well pleased with where I am with the my spiritual approach to life now, and I'm really focused on that more than I am going anywhere. I'm learning in my head and my body rather than taking it places, I guess.
Great. Great.
Like I say, this business of money, I realized in all of this conversation, when you don't have to worry about paying bill, even the physicalness of paying bills or anything, I have so much time to feed my spiritual questions and approach to life, whatever. Anyway, you get the idea.
I do get the idea. Thank you. Yes. So on page 155, Butterworth says, what does he say, Darlene?
Watch your thoughts when you are handling your money, because your money is attached through your mind to one source of all substance and all money.
What do you think about that? Watch your thoughts when you are handling money, because your money is attached through your mind to the one source of all substance and all money. So the practice that I'm suggesting to myself and all of us is always bless all the money that passes through your hands. Even if it's a check that's paying a bill. Always bless all money that passes through your hands. Blessing it is a recognition of what's behind it, but it also, it makes it a gift to wherever it's going. So it's like that idea of giving, you know. The universe is reciprocal. Any comments about this statement?
I like the thought that we are all connected and therefore money also connects us all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great reminder, isn't it? Because, you know, as Butterworth said, money is a symbol. And I think of it as within that symbol is our creative energy and how we use it, or how we choose to use it. Any more comments before I move on? Okay, then. We've been talking about this. He wrote on in my book, page 158, giving is basically an attitude with which you touch things. How about that? Touch things. So expand your thinking. Take that thought. Giving is basically an attitude with which you touch things. And imagine that you have a container. What's contained in your container labeled giving is basically an attitude with which you touch things? Are you there?
This is Kathy, and I'm going to give an experience of giving that was not good. And I had a poor attitude, and reading this book demonstrated that to me. My husband's sister, who we don't have a relationship with, her husband died, a man who we never met. And she has 3 young children, again, who we have never met. But my husband's other sister said it'd be a good thing to give her $500 for the kids' education. And so Greg asked me, can we do that? And I said, yeah, let's just do it. But in my mind, I'm thinking, his sister is a real loser. She's raising these hellion kids. They're never going to get educated. And that was a wrong way for me. I did not miss the money that we gave. That was totally wrong. And I shouldn't have done that.
Thank you, Kath. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. It's very subtle, this mind of ours. And how subtle we can be with that whole giving thing. Anyone else on what comes to you as you think about giving is basically an attitude with which you touch things.
This is Maria.
Yeah.
For me, giving has always been from the heart. If I give something to someone, whether it's a gift or that person needs something and they're not asking for it, but I'm aware of it, I will just give it. I do not want anything in return. I just give it because that's the way I have always been. So basically that's it. When I give something, I give from the heart. I don't expect anything back in return.
Great. Great.
This is Jody, and I just want to address for myself the difference between giving with acknowledgement. For instance, when I give to the church is aware who it's coming from and they know. And then giving anonymously when there's no need to tell anyone, and that could be as simple as handing someone in a restaurant a $30 and saying, your lunch is on me. Well, no, then they would know. You give it to the waitress, then the waitress could do that, and it would be anonymous. So there's great lessons, but unless you're doing it and you're into the doing, you don't get to see what it feels like when no one knows what you did and what you gave, but you know.
That's a great thing to think about. Because something definitely happens in both cases, right? There's an energy generated in both cases. And the energy prior to giving and not getting found out relative to the energy that results from giving and not getting found out is pretty interesting, huh? Yeah. Yeah, and there's a book, Al-Anon book, a book that Al-Anoners use. And one of the, and I think this is online too, check it out. Check out online, Just for Today. You'll find a statement about giving and not getting found out, or that whole idea of, just for today, I'm going to focus my mind on the good only. And one of the things is I'm going to something like this. I'm going to do something good for someone or something kind and not get found out. If I get found out, it doesn't count. So there's a practice, a consciousness conditioner about giving and not getting found out, giving anonymously.
I used to go to Al-Anon for years. And my father was a real strong alcoholic. And I really tried to do that one and not get found out.
Yes.
And it's hard to do.
Yes.
And so I think that is what makes you appreciate giving, is because it wasn't easy to do. And also, if you sit back and kind of laugh to yourself and they don't know who gave it to them, it's pure pleasure.
So you had fun doing it?
I did. A lot of fun, yeah. But I didn't do it very much, like I said. I didn't find the opportunities.
Yeah. Thank you.
This is Sig.
Sig.
I would love to give anonymously. Some years ago, I gave to the Phoenix homeless, whatever it was. And I gave it from my heart. And it was, to me, it was a one-time contribution. And they dogged me by mail for the next 5 years. And so it has kind of jaded me on giving.
Yeah.
Because you give once, they forever flood you with give me, give me, give me.
Yes, I know.
But I never figured out how to do it anonymously.
Well, maybe the teaching, if there were a teaching in that you give to a cause that you appreciate and want to give to, you want to help, and then they keep coming back for more, what might be a spiritual practice about that?
What do you mean? What do you mean about?
Well, here's what came to my mind as you said that, because the same thing has happened to me. I get something, and then I get on everybody's mail list that's anything like it. So I gave to the disabled vets, I think is what. So now I get requests for money, and I hadn't thought about it till you brought it up here. How might I frame that for myself rather than saying, "Oh my God, there it is again"? They want. That I might frame it as, okay, well, I guess they need my prayers. I'm going to say a prayer for them, that they have all the money they need. That would be a spiritual practice for me of thinking something positive rather than, oh no, they're asking for more money.
Well, to me, it's silly because they spend more money than I gave originally trying to get more. It's kind of counterproductive.
I know. So rather than having that thought, say, what positive thought could you have about, or what could you do that would shift your viewpoint about that?
Well, I did feel really good about giving.
Yeah.
It helped me and it helped them.
Yeah.
But then the negative poured in and I couldn't get away from it. So.
But can you get away from it now, going forward? Next time you get another request for money for them, what will you think? What are you willing to think?
I don't think they know where I am now.
That's not what I was after right there.
Here's another idea. They are sending money to you to send it back and give them more.
Yes, yes.
I find that an amusing concept.
Yes, and they send little notepads and those stickers we put on our envelopes.
Or they want to send you a blanket.
Something, yeah. So I mean, I've just had a shift in my own attitude this morning, discussing that next time I get a request, I'm just going to bless them and say a prayer for them. Yeah. Unless I want to put a check in the envelope.
I ended up giving money orders because it doesn't have
It doesn't have your name on it?
It has my name, but it doesn't have my address or.
Oh. Okay. Well, Darlene offered get a money order. They can't trace you.
Yeah.
One of my,
right.
Oh, this is Kathy, sorry. One of my favorite Christmas traditions is getting a angel from the good, Salvation Army trees so that I can make a happy Christmas for some child.
Oh.
And they don't know anything, from their point of view, it's from Santa Claus, which is the best way.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Thank you.
This is Billy. One of the things that I've had to learn along the way is that when I give, that I can't have any attachment to it. Whether I give it to the church or to a person, like a gift or something, or that I can't that I have to let go of any attachment. Like if I give you a blouse and a shirt and you don't wear it, that's an attachment. Like, oh my gosh, I gave her a shirt and she never wears it, you know. So I have to just realize that what that happens to it after I give it is none of my business. You know, if I give something and they choose to give it to someone else, you know, re-gift or whatever, it's really none of my business. But that was difficult for me to learn.
That's true.
And it was difficult, like with homeless people or something, you know, to give money and think, you know, they're just going to go buy a bottle of booze or something, you know, or something. And I had to just, if I wanted to give, I just had to let go of that and give.
Good point.
Or not, you know, whichever. But that was a challenging thing that I had to learn over the years.
Well, I have a friend who says freely given and freely given away.
Yeah, yeah. There's an affirmation, a good affirmation. Yeah. Well, I want you to know, Billy, that I do appreciate my Ken doll.
I know you do, and that's an affirmation. So.
Yeah. Ken sometimes cocks his head at me and I have to straighten him out. All right, here we go. The giver is convinced that life is a giving process. Thus, his subtle motivation in all his ways is to give himself away in love, in service, and in all the many helpful ways he can. Page 163. Isn't that beautiful? Really, I was captivated by that. Can you see the picture in the background? Chocolate. Chocolate hearts. Yay! Okay. And of course, he covers tithing at length. So one of the things he said about tithing, and this is beyond our reading, tithing is not an end, but a helpful means toward the end of living totally in a giving consciousness. I like that too. I like that too. Because when we're in a giving consciousness, we are in the flow of universal law, which is always reciprocal, which is not the reason for being giving, but to know that we are in the flow of a universal flow of energy as we give. Because the energy of the universe is always about giving. It's just, you know, we say God gives, God gives. God, that's what God does. That's what God is. Any comments on this one? Nada? Okay, I have, this is the last one, page 211 in my book. Let's see what, it was long, so I didn't want to write it all out. Hang on, I'm going to get oops, where's 211? Here we go. Okay, I'm going to read 211 to you. You can find it, it'll be the second to the last page in your book, wherever your book ends. In the new era now, at its dawn, we shall have a spirit of prosperity. The principle, this is Charles Fillmore, Butterworth is quoting Fillmore. The principle of the universal substance will be known and acted upon, and there will be no place for lack. Supply will be more equalized. There will not be millions of bushels of wheat stored in musty warehouses while people go hungry. There will be no overproduction or underconsumption or other inequities of supply. For God's substance will be recognized and used by all people. Men will not pile up fortunes one day and lose them the next, for they will not fear the integrity of their neighbors. Is this an impractical utopia? The answer depends on you. Just as soon as you individually do your part in quickening the consciousness of the whole economy. Well, there's our assignment going forward. We are to quicken the consciousness of mankind, of the whole economy, by being givers. So, closing thoughts.
This is Eileen. I really want to take in the words today that were said about blessing the money or whatever you give in the moment you do it, because I don't think I ever really did that when I gave. And so that's something that I really want to focus on, is blessing those things as I do them, so that I can also remember that that's something that I should be grateful for as well. And
Thank
so
you,
I'm
Eileen.
going to incorporate that now.
Thank you. Who else? Anybody else? Okay, well, if you're still thinking, think about, and it doesn't have to be this class at all. I'm just, gratitude is one of the most prospering attitudes we can have. So and it's energizing. It's energy giving, energy generating. So think of something you're grateful for today and share it with all of us.
Hey, this is Kathy. My car had some trouble, and so Mac looked at it yesterday, and she told me, well, it could be this, and that wouldn't be bad because that would be nice and cheap to fix, or it could be that, and ooh, let's hope it's not that. So when I went home, I thought, okay, if it's the ooh, will I have enough money? And so I thought, I will have enough money. So I thank God that no matter what happens, I'll have enough money to fix it. So Greg just texted me and said that he fixed it for free. So I had enough money.
Oh, how fabulous. Great. Oh, happy day.
This is Jody. I am so grateful for the Unity Church. I started in Mesa, at the Mesa Unity, and I've probably been going there for about 4 years. And then when I retired, I started spending my summers in Carlsbad. And so when I found Unity of Carlsbad, that's when I met Sharon. And so I was very happy when she was moving to Arizona. And now here I am, Unity of Sun City. And so I've got 3 wonderful Unity churches that I am attached to, that I tithe to, that I love and adore. So I am very grateful for Unity Church. And it led me to all of my new friends here.
Yes. Thanks, Jody. Thank you.
It's Sig. I'm very thankful that you chose this book. It helped enlighten me and open my eyes and encourage me to continue blessing.
Thank you. Thanks, Sig. Great. Who else? Eileen?
Yes. I'm very grateful for you too, Sharon. I'm grateful for Jody for inviting me to California a couple of years ago when I went to Unity Church for the first time, because that's when I met you too. And so, I was not a Unity participator before then. And I'm so grateful now to have all of you as what I consider my new friends and my blessings from Spirit Within, that have been able to share all of these wonderful thoughts and gratitudes and wonderful spirits that you all have that really inspire me to be a better person. I'm just grateful for all of you and the Unity as well.
Thanks. Thank you, Eileen.
A large ditto to all of that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Amazing artist that you are. Who else? Closing out here.
I would have to say ditto also. I love Unity, and especially love the class. Because that's the way I learn.
Yeah.
And even if it's something that I've gone over before, you always find something new. And I just feel very grateful to be a part of Sun City Unity. And I love calling it the spiritual center. I really do like that. And all the people that I've met.
Thank you.
And for you being here.
Thank
You
you.
bring a lot.
Thank you.
I'm Jan, and I'd like to say that I appreciate everybody for what you said about the church. It reminds me of how lucky I am to be blessed to come to this wonderful church. And also, I love the Sunday church that we have here. Now that Reverend Sharon is here and lightens the whole thing up too. And I love the music.
Don't you go? Jan comes on Sunday mornings. We have about 20 people or so that come on Sundays wearing masks and social distancing. Yeah. Thank you, Jan. Jan is grateful for unity too. Okay, I haven't heard from Billy or Sig or Arlene. Something you're grateful for.
This is Billy. I'm so grateful that you ended up in Arizona, Sharon. I really.
My playmate, Billy.
So I'm from the ocean to the desert. I still haven't figured that out. But anyway, I'm grateful you're here, and I'm grateful for all these wise women in this class. I mean, I just am learning so much, and so my heart is full. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Maria or Arlene?
Arlene, I am thankful for what Billy just said. She took words right out of my mouth. Thank you, Billy. I appreciate the class and for all the people that speak up and tell us how they're thinking and feeling it. I learned a lot from them. Thank you.
Thanks, Arlene. Thank you for being here. Maria, are you still with us or no? No, I think maybe Maria may be gone. Okay, well, oh, Maria, you are there. What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for this class and all of you ladies, that we are all able to share our thoughts and learn from them. Sometimes hearing others speak and their way and whatever they have done in their life helps us to understand and make changes in our lives. So I'm grateful for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria. Sig, did you want to share something? Did you share something and I missed it?
Yes, I shared something and you really missed it.
Oh.
I said I was very grateful for you choosing this book because it helped open my eyes.
Right, right. Well,
and
you
I'm
said
grateful for the class too. So
couldn't access it right away. Thank you, Sig, for repeating that. Well, listen, I'm grateful for this this class and everyone being here each week. Thank you for your faithfulness. It wouldn't be the same without you. And I am grateful for, how do I want to say this? What I'm grateful for is coming together as a community of interested, open-hearted, open-minded people sharing ideas that lift us all. So I appreciate everything you've said. It's been a great contribution. And I'm doing something very daring in July, beginning for three Wednesdays, beginning July 8th, going to July 8th, July 22nd, and July 29th, 10:30 on Wednesdays. I want to have a conversation about racism. And I hope that some, if not all of you, will come. It's the idea of sharing so that we get clear about what we believe, because that's what happens when we share. And even, you know, there may be some shifts as a result of sharing. The topic of racism has been certainly in the forefront, I mean forefront, of the social context and the social conversation out there. And so I thought it would be important for us to entertain the topic and see what we believe and see what it's all about. I'm using a book. There are many books out there about it right now. And the one that I happened to pick up is called How to Be an Anti-Racist. And I'm not even suggesting that you buy the book. It's grist for the mill of the questions that I will bring to the conversation. And we all may bring questions to the conversation, but this book is what is I'm using as a jumping off point, or let's say the foundation for formulating questions that I'll bring to our discussion. Okay, so just so you know, the discussion is not a debate. It's not a debate. We're not debating each other's ideas or what racism is and is not. What I want it to be is an enlightening conversation about our own beliefs and attitudes about racism, or even our experience of it. Okay? Okay, well, that's all for now, folks. That's a wrap. I love you, a bushel and a peck, a bushel and a peck, and a hug around the neck.
And a bushel and
A virtual hug.
A virtual hug around the neck.